No.
Yes. No. Yes. Yes means no, and no means yes. Good morning, fuckers, and welcome to another day at the Daily BM, where no means yes and yes means yes. So
Settle down, P. Diddy.
we are ready to get. Hey, shh. Hey, I still have my passport, bitch. I'm not in an island where I can't be extradited. So shh.
Settle down, P. Diddy.
You know nothing, and I was not on the list for Epstein's Island, or was I? Anyway, so
I don't know. You might have been on the short list.
That was a good
He's
one.
got fucking short jokes. We're not talking about your wiener, so be quiet. So, are you eating again?
Oh, thanks for making
You're
a compliment.
eating again. This motherfucker is eating again to start a show. Jesus Christ, he's like the fucking advertising, for like chocolate bars and shit like that. What kind of bar are you eating? A protein bar? The Rumble Show. I'm eating a barbell creamy crisp. Nom, 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 nom. Jesus Christ, man. This bitch over here. And don't forget, you can get your Barbell, what is it, Barbell? I couldn't see it. All I saw was creamy crisp. Barbell.
Bear Bell.
You can get your Barbello or Barbells chocolate protein bars over at thedailybm.com for only $11.53. It cost us $2 to get. So you're welcome.
So this has 200 calories, 8 total grams of fat, 3.5 grams of saturated fat, 120 milligrams of sodium, 19 carbs, but 3 of those are fiber and 6 of those are sugar alcohols, and a total of 20 grams of protein.
Nice.
And they taste pretty damn good.
Yeah. Last time he did that, I had diarrhea for an hour. Those protein bars get me, man. Yeah, dude. Seriously, protein bars go right through me.
Well, that's because you didn't even ask. You just wolfed it down, and that was like a keto protein bar with MCT oils.
I was in
you weren't
so
even
much
ready.
pain. I was in so much pain. I was like, oh my God. Look, guys, if you ever want to clear your colon, just choose the protein bars that Mike gives you because they'll blow your freaking colon right out.
No, Mike didn't give it to you. You just took it.
You ever
Just
seen
like
that
when you
movie?
came in my office and you
That's
started
true.
mowing
That's true.
down on all my chocolate, not realizing it's sugar-free chocolate. So, like 10 minutes later, you decided to have like a massive case of diarrhea.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh,
He's
I like
by
that.
the
I
way,
like the Fairlife. I like Fairlife protein. Those are good.
He goes, by
Good
the
job,
way,
Shay.
Shay, he goes, by the way, you can only eat 1 or 2 of those Werther's sugar-free, dummy. And I was like, what do you mean? I already had like 6. And I was like, I already ate like 6 of these things. And he goes, and I literally was in the toilet like 20 minutes later just blowing mud. Have you ever seen the movie Hall Pass? I think it's Hall Pass, where the girl like sneezes and shits on the wall in the shower. Yeah, that's what the violent was. That's how violent those protein bars can be. So
Jesus.
yeah, it's like you were preparing for a colonoscopy without having to really prepare, So
That sounds exciting.
What is happening?
I don't know. I thought maybe you were just getting ready to just start doing a strip tease for everybody on air. Whoa, like, and she's taking off her shirt if you can't see us and you're on audio only. Oh my God, guys, you should check it out. Head over to our YouTube channel and like and subscribe over there where you can see it all in person.
I think my dog is laying on.
That's gonna be such a bait and switch.
It really is. Don't go there. She's just laughing. There's nothing in the video. Sorry. But so speaking of
that's my divorce lawyer calling.
speaking of pornography.
What?
So these, of course, I'm fucked up. So I'm sitting there looking at these Apple Vision glasses, whatever they're called, and I'm thinking to myself, porn usually tackles shit first. So I'm like thinking to myself, how would they pull that off? Like, would they just do it like a virtual avatar, like a person in front of you, and then you had to have like a real person in front of you, or how would that work?
Well, number one, Apple people are cool, so they would have a real person there. They could just be checking their stocks and answering their iMessages and watching
imagine?
Netflix during.
You're over there rubbing one out, getting a virtual blowjob, and you're over there going, "Hey, what's my stocks at?" That would be some what nerd Apple people would do. Have you ever
All I'm saying is, I don't see a lot of ugly people using Apple products. It's usually Android users.
Damn. So for all you
Pew,
Android,
pew, shots fired.
Hey
shots fired.
Sean. Hey Sean, I hope you heard that one because Mike just called you ugly. But anyway, yeah. So I would think that have you seen the videos? Actually,
I'm not saying you're ugly. I'm just saying you're poor.
Damn.
Oh shit!
He's freaking he just loaded the gun and reshot, man. Damn.
Shots fired.
He already
Yeah.
took one in the bow. He's going down. You don't have to finish him off, man. Let him sink
If,
slowly.
if you don't believe there's the only reason people are ugly is because they're poor. I mean, look at Jeff Bezos. Look at what he looked like before he had Amazon, and then look at like what he looks like now. Do it side by side.
There is some truth to that shit for sure,
look,
man.
Look at Mark Zuckerberg side by side. Poor Mark Zuckerberg.
Well, he
Fit
still
Mark
looks like
Zuckerberg.
a dork. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
He's a rich
but he's
dork.
ripped. He's got a six pack. I mean, he's not. He looks the best he could possibly look
For him.
with his genetics.
Yeah, I was gonna
You
say
know?
he looks like Data off Star Trek, dude. He looks like a freaking android. You give him a little, make him a little more pasty, freaking yellowish white, dude, and he can be walking around going, "Hello, my name is Mark Zuckerberg, and I work for Facebook." You know what I mean? He's freaking
Hey,
weird.
I
looking.
like Data, so don't mess with Data.
I
He's
like
cool.
Data
He's my-
too, but he looks like him. You got to admit that side by
He
side
looks like him.
comparison is
He-
pretty real.
No, he don't look like Data. He looks what's that, androgynous, when you don't look like a male or a female? That's what Zuckerberg looks like.
Damn, shots fired some more. He's like just pop shotting everybody. So we will never have an Amazon Prime subscription anymore, and we will get banned. Thanks to Mike.
I just said that
Fuck you,
Bezos looks
Zuckerberg.
good.
Fuck you, Bezos. Both y'all can kiss my ass. How's that sound?
Hey, you know what? They both have Steve Jobs beat though, because they're both still around. So
And just like that, Apple freaking canceled our Apple Plus care and our Apple subscriptions. Thanks a
All
lot,
right,
Dick.
what do we got? What do
I
we
just
got
got the
left? What do we
email.
got left?
I just got the email. Hold on a second. It says your podcast has been removed off our platform due to violation of terms of service. Thank you to Michael Preston. Yep, thanks, Dick.
Oh, is this not a safe space? Did
It
your
looks like
feelings get
the old
hurt?
Android network. Spotify, here we come.
No, I bashed Android first.
Oh, great. So now you're going to get us banned off Spotify, too. Well, so as of right now, you can head over to rss.com until they decide they hate us, too. So
Spotify always makes it think of periods
I got to ask why.
because you're spotting, so it's like Spotify.
What? Where the fuck do you come up with this crap?
Well, I mean,
7-day free trial. I don't know.
7-day free trial. When the bleeding stops, we start charging.
Pretty much.
Yo, motherfucker, do you speak it? I don't know why I got that Samuel L. Jackson stuck in my head for this whole damn show. Thanks, man.
Love it. So anyways, I guess we go back
Let's
to the
get
topic
back
on hand.
topic.
So
7
we were
minutes of
talking
ranting.
about, we were going to talk about Apple Vision Pro, but Brad had to go straight into the porn.
Because, dude, I mean, come on, man.
I mean, your avatar does look exactly like you, and you can see facial expressions. So I'm pretty sure you could probably
So you could like simulate sex with
have
any chick you wanted to that had
VR
the
sex,
glasses.
yeah, with anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know I don't know if Apple has an app for that because they're not like in the wild west like Meta is.
I got it. Apple needs to do this now. They could get into the porn industry real fast and make a ton of fucking money. So here's how you do it. You ready? You got the vision
vagina
card.
and the eye cock.
No, you literally get a freaking like one of those torso things. You know those people that have like the full body, like you know how they're making those Japanese ones that look almost real. You have just a base one because you can't see it anyway, but it's just a model, and then it imprints that over the thing that you're using, and then it can interact and move and grab you and stuff. I'm telling you, dude, it'd be over. Guys wouldn't be dating forever.
Actually,
girls
what you
would be
should
like,
do.
"Why are we single?"
You know what? Actually, you know what I see it going. I'll tell you where I see it going.
All right,
Bodysuits. A
full
full
it starts feeling you up in the bodysuit and shit. Oh, hell
Use
immersive
it-
bodysuit that moves when you
using electrical current and constriction so that way you can feel different things. I see that coming up next.
Yeah, but then how you? Okay, well, all right.
So where
let's
like
just talk
someone
sex
reaches
here.
out to you, it gives you someone reaches out and touches you, it feels like they're touching you due to the pressure of the suit applying pressure and then also electrically stimulating like a TENS unit.
Lower.
Yeah, have you used a TENS unit before, Brad?
No.
Okay, so like when a TENS unit, you can feel like electrical stimulation, and it actually feels like something's touching you or squeezing you.
Yeah.
So I could see that on a micro, like on a very, a lot of diodes in an area, you could feel that. So
Dude,
and then when you're playing fighting games, something hits you, you can feel it take the hit.
See, I have two hot dates every morning.
Hello, how are you? Me, I'm doing great. How are you?
Yeah, I mean that'd
Brad?
be like, remember those D boxes they used to have in the movie theater? It'd be like,
Oh,
a,
dude, I hated.
but
I hated.
better.
I
D
hated
box,
that.
all right.
I
no,
hated those things. I
no,
hated D boxes.
no, I didn't. I never even bought a ticket for one of those
You see
things,
the
but
bitches
it's
all
what it's
moving.
reminding me of. It's like a better version of that, and for your whole body, like you put it on, and they
I
make
guess I-
sensors that make you feel what you're supposed to feel when you see what you see. That'd be
Right.
cool.
Would you do it? Would you try it just
Get
to
in
see
the
it? Would you
hell
get in the
yeah,
suit and try it?
hell
Would you try
yeah.
it,
Why
Mike?
wouldn't I?
Yeah, of course. Why wouldn't I?
Exactly.
Because some
Wait,
people
are you
like
talking?
lie.
Are you talking? Are you talking about just use the suit like to try it out, or are you talking about like sex?
I'm talking about sex. If you weren't married, I'm just saying, if you
Oh.
weren't married, you're a single dude. Would you do it?
Why
and
does
try
it
to have
matter?
sex in the
You're not really cheating as long as it's a virtual
see,
assistant.
it's okay. So that's a whole other subject. Would that still be cheating in your guys' eyes? If you're married or have a girlfriend and you started banging some other chick from across the world and she had a bodysuit, you had a bodysuit.
That's
Wait,
cheating.
but I thought. Wait,
That's cheating. I was talking a virtual avatar like Cortana from like Halo just pops out.
Hey Siri,
Yeah, I
jerk me
mean-
off.
Hello, Master. Except for Master Chief, it'd be Master Chef. Hello, Master Chef. You fat ass.
Alexa,
I mean-
rub my wiener.
Unable to find.
Unable to comply.
Error.
I mean that does it count if you use a sex toy? So I mean, I guess the question is,
It all depends.
how artificial is the intelligence? I guess that's where you have to ask the question when you're asking if you're cheating. Like, you know, 'cause
well, humans aren't that smart either, so you really can't put that level on anywhere.
well, I mean that would be my question to pose, because if you're using a sex toy, you're not cheating, but when you
Wait.
introduce AI into it, so then are you? Think about, what was that movie with
Hold on, let me
Her.
back up what you just said.
Her.
Right now, though. You said if you're using a
Yeah.
sex toy, that's not cheating, but the other person on the other end is using it on you, or are you talking about it's an AI generated sex toy?
Okay, so if you go back and you think about what originally what I think Mike was talking about was the fact that you have so we're talking about the Apple Vision Pro, which is
Mhm.
the virtual
Goggles.
The goggles,
experience that puts, so if you, for the people who don't know, we never explained it because Brad jumped into
Went
porn.
straight into sex.
Right.
So if if you explain how it works, then you talk about the bodysuit, then that would make more sense to
Well,
what
you
we're talking about.
you pull your wiener out, and then
That's not what I meant. Explain how the
Then you
Apple
spin
Pro
your
Vision
hand
works.
and you up and down stroking motions. Yes, that's exactly.
So
how
for
you do it.
those people that don't know, Apple Vision Pro is an augmented reality headset, much like the Meta Quest headsets that Mark Zuckerberg came up with. So basically, it changes the world that you live in by incorporating screens, movies, apps, and everything on virtual surfaces around you, and it's complete immersion to where you can either see through it or you can be anywhere in the world or anywhere that you can imagine while you're working, playing games, watching movies, interacting with people. The Apple Vision Pros are interesting because they have internal facing cameras and they scan your face to make a virtual avatar of yourself that looks like you. And while you're laughing or smiling or doing whatever, it's mimicking in the virtual space what your facial expressions look like very realistically. It's kind of shocking how close it is from from the stuff I've seen. I don't have a pair, but from what I've seen. The other thing that's really cool is, unlike the other available headsets, the Apple Vision Pro only uses your hands for all gestures, so you don't have to have controllers. So basically, you can just grab things, move them around in your virtual space, and you can pin things in certain areas. So say you want to put a list on your fridge, you can put a list. So when you're walking through your house, you can look at your fridge and see a list on the fridge. You can mount your TV on the wall. You can have another TV in another area. You can have a computer work surface to your right. And by just moving your head and looking around, you can see different things and interact with the environment that's around you.
Made me think of Tony Stark glasses.
Yes.
Yeah, and him, doing his hands around and moving things where he wanted in his virtual workspace.
Yes.
So I have the Meta Quest. We have the Meta Quest goggles here, or whatever they're called. Meta 2 or whatever. I don't know. And they're pretty cool, but they don't do that.
Yeah, they're not
And
the level, but they're not the same price. Those are like the Apple Vision Pros 10 times the cost. I mean, they're
right.
$3,400 versus $350.
Right.
So
And that sounds really cool. So then if that sounds cool all by itself. And so then if you take it to where Brad took it, and then you think about if you think about the fact that you can potentially add a bodysuit where you're feeling a whole body whatever, and I'm thinking about, say, something people around here could maybe relate to, things like Flight of the Avatar at Pandora, where you're in this immersive experience, but you're not completely immersed, and how much cooler it would be if you were. Then you have this whole body thing. So for things like that, it would also be cool. But so back to our point, now that you have an idea. So if you are in this entire bodysuit and you have your goggles on and there is no actual human being on the other end, Brad.
Mm-hmm. I'm waiting for this.
Then in essence, you'd have to treat it like a sex toy, unless we want to argue or discuss how does AI figure into it, because I brought up the movie Her with Joaquin Phoenix, where he actually develops an emotional connection to the right. So go ahead.
So here's my viewpoint on it. It depends on, are you using the toy, and this goes for all toys, as a substitute for your partner? If you are, then it's cheating. If you're using it in addition to, just to complement or, aid or do whatever, then I don't think it's cheating. That's just my view on it, because it's in the mindset. It's where you're at mentally. Like if you go, I'd rather pick up my vibrator than be with my husband, or I'd rather pick up, my fleshlight than be with my wife, then you're mentally cheating, because you're avoiding the other person. I don't know why Brad can't keep a straight face.
I'm just wondering why you went to fleshlight with that. You know what I mean? Because I guess because
I said vibrator for a woman instead of her husband, and then the alternative similar product is a fleshlight for men.
Yeah,
I mean that's the name. It's the name brand.
The differences between the two, though, is but a AI driven feeling. Your brain is thinking that's real. But your brain's you're going to get that dopamine release because you're thinking you're with somebody, a human being, because that's what your brain's interpreting, unless you're just telling yourself during the experience, okay, this is just an AI. You know what I mean? But the reality is when you're in the moment, you're like in the moment. No? Or no?
It depends on the mindset that you're going into it. Again, is it taking away from the relationship that you're in, or is it adding to? Like if here's my thought on it. It's like, say for instance, like your sex drive's a 10 and your wife's is a 2, and you want to have sex every single day, but she's only like a one time a week type of person. Okay. So you're augmenting your sexual relationship to keep yourself happy and to keep yourself from straying. Then I don't see that as cheating, because you're fulfilling her needs and you're also fulfilling your own needs, and she shouldn't see it that way. Now, if you bring in like another person, like a sex worker, working the robot on the other end, of the equation, then that may be a problem, because you could develop feelings for that person. The movie Her, it's all about him developing feelings for the AI.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I mean, at the end of the day, that's where the process comes in, and it's a slippery slope, because it can lead to that. If you start going, well, I don't want to bother my significant other, so I'm just going to go over here and grab my favorite toy and knock myself out. And then when they come around and they want to be intimate, you're like, oh man, I'm spent, like, I'm tired, I need to go to sleep, I don't have it in me, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You start making excuses because you'd rather grab your toy, then it becomes a problem.
Hey Mike,
just like anything else in life.
Mike, I need you to give me the company. Hold on a second. I need you to give me the company card. I need to cancel this sex worker I hired.
Yeah.
Since you said it was cheating.
So
why are we paying that on a company card? I don't want to pay for a third.
I figured everybody pays a third for me to have it be less stressful and not obnoxious.
Expensive.
There you go.
I like you stressed out.
Dick. Anyway, go ahead.
Go ahead, Shae.
Continue, my lady.
All I was going to say is I was wondering if the point you were trying to make, Brad, is that it would be so immersive that you'd have a hard time not,
differentiating between reality
right,
and virtual reality. Yes.
Yeah. If that was the point you were trying to make, then I don't know. I
can see where dudes. I don't know about Mike. I don't know about Mike, but I think most guys, if I had to go out on a limb here and just generalize it a little bit, I think most guys, because of the dopamine release and the ability of that AI to interact as a female, like and show emotions, but this instead of hearing the word no or I'm tired, that AI is never tired. It's going to do exactly what you want and give you exactly what you need. So I just feel like in the long game that I could see where guys would be like, I don't have to date because I'm getting what I need emotionally out of this virtual world. I mean, because let's face it, there's a reason why nerds play video games the way they do a lot too. They get an emotional response out of that game and they play it every week. They get that dopamine
that's
release.
A different topic though, because that's not cheating. If you're not in a relationship and you choose not to be in a relationship because you're getting what you need from a virtual assistant, let's call it, then it's not cheating because you're not in a relationship. So that's off topic.
I guess if you're, I went a little bit off to the side like I always do, but I'm saying on the cheating side, I think if you're telling your woman about it, that hey, I'm using this. I mean, because the reality is I would believe, now correct me if I'm wrong, Shae, most women would have a problem with it. Most that we know of today. Like if I said, hey, I'm going to go have a 30-minute session with this virtual chick, I'm sure it would be an issue.
Probably.
It depends on how you present it. It depends on what conversation you have going into it. Like if you just hopped in the room and said, "Hey, yo, I just got this new
I mean, there's no getting around it.
And
there's no getting around it, dude. If I said, "Hey, this virtual chick's gonna suck my cock," I mean, pardon my French, the way I say it, or I'm gonna go bang this freaking virtual chick, or I'm gonna go hang out with her and have a conversation, and then, I just so happened to blow a nut load across her forehead too while I was done. You know what I mean? There's no getting around it. You can sugarcoat it all you want, but you're having sex with a virtual woman. So again, I would say, yeah, it's cheating.
There is getting around it because you're having a conversation with before you do it. It depends on the presentation, and then well, she goes, yeah, that'd be awesome. I want to watch. Put it on the TV.
But how many women would say that? And I mean, I'm generalizing here. I mean, in your mind,
I have no idea because I don't know all women in general, but I do know there's probably a lot out there that wouldn't care.
So let me ask you: all the girls that you've dated in the past, or your marriages you're in, whatever. Again, you don't have to answer it if you don't want to, but have you had that situation arise where you've asked them, hey, you want to do this and watch or whatever, blah, blah, blah? And I mean,
there's some enjoyed watching porn.
Okay.
During.
And they watched you performing on yourself while you're watching it? Or did they say, hey, let me jump in and do it for you? No, I'm just,
that's usually how it went. I mean, it was never like they were eating like a bag of chips and munching away like they're watching a movie. You know what? You need to use your wrist
a little more, Mike.
You know what I mean? Like, no, it was never like that. I mean,
I can't believe how weak his left hand is. Jeez.
Stroke faster. No, just kidding.
Your in game is horrible, honey. Your in game's horrible. You need to work on that.
So I just think it has a conversation, and that's all it is. Communication. It comes down to because intimate experience. I mean, maybe they want to throw on a Vision Pro and be in the other room over, and they be the virtual girl, and they have a different look.
That's what I was about to say.
Talking about it.
So if you don't ever have a conversation, you don't ever know the answer. Yeah. But I'm not going to disagree that I can picture a mass of women who would not be okay with that right now. I'm not saying you don't have a point, but also this is all new technology. This is stuff that people aren't used to dealing with too, right? And then you have a lot of people who already don't get down with sex toys and stuff just because they don't have that
mindset,
that open-mindedness. They haven't tried it before. They don't know what it's about. They have a negative connotation with it, this or that or the other, whatever that is for them. It's going to be the same there, but it's also going to have the AI to it. I saw that on a movie and it was, a bad thing, da 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 da. But still it's it's relative to the person you're talking to about it. It's always
right,
still.
and it's also where you're at in your relationship too, because
Mm-hmm.
if your partner is feeling completely unsexually satisfied, like they're craving sex and attention and physical touch, and you're walking in and going, "Hey, I got this new gadget, and it's going to get all my sex and attention," that's going to piss them off. I mean, really, it is. I mean, I know you can laugh about it, but that's going to be a slap in the face because it'd be like, "Why not me?" But if they're sexually satiated and you're like walking in like I'm a sexual deviant, like I need it 24/7. They might be like, "That's fantastic because I can't take anymore." Like, like I could use the night off. Like,
that was a confirming laugh. Like,
I mean, no, you said it right there. I can just see the wife saying, "You're like walking, you're like, hey, baby, you want to go in that room?" She's like, hand you the goggles. "Hey, man, Melissa's waiting for you in there, man. Just go ahead and have it with her tonight."
Like, it's her turn.
I've already got her queued up. Because I mean, at the end of the day, I think
got her queued up.
I think at the end of the day, what it boils down to is it's more of the fear of like someone else taking your man, and either physically or mentally, because that's what it boils down to. It's less about the act, and I think in and of itself, it's more about what the act entails. It's the deceit, the lying, all of that stuff. Because there's a lot of people that can have open relationships and they're totally okay with it because they've had a conversation, they've discussed it. I mean, we've had swingers on the show, and that's what they talk about. Like we're open, we have rules, we have.
That's what I was gonna say. They set forth rules ahead of
boundaries,
time, like
and boundaries. Like,
this is what you don't do. This is what you won't do to me. And So I think as far as all of that goes, when it's a healthy thing, and there's been communication about it, it's between the two people.
I mean, that's like the view on sex toys. I mean, there's a Christian sex shop out there that sells Christian sex toys to aid in couples' marriages and relationships. So
what is the difference between a Christian sex? Aren't they all the same? What is a Christian sex toy?
It's shaped like a cross.
No, the toys are the same. It's the message behind it. Like what? It's just a spin on the message. Basically, is what it is. And that's what everything is in life. It's just spinning the message differently. So
a Christian sex toy is one that is approved by the church because you are using this to.
It's not necessarily approved by the church, but it's approved by Christians for Christians because it's it helps aid the marriage. Because I mean, think about it. What happens if you have like a paraplegic husband that doesn't have penile function? And Brad can't keep a straight face during this conversation at all.
Sorry.
But if you say you have a husband that's paraplegic and he doesn't have any penile function, and he uses a vibrator to stimulate his wife and bring her pleasure, and it's the act of making love to them, that's still in the confines of marriage, and it's still out of love. It's not like cheating or taking from your wife or things of that nature.
I got the toy they can buy at the Christian store. It's called the Holy Ghost, WHOLEY, and it's white.
I have no idea what Brad just said because he's losing his shit.
I said the dildo is the whole. I said it's a Christian store instead of calling it like the Black Mamba or some shit like that. You can have one called the Holy Ghost, and it's WHOLEY.
Well, that's creating a false idol, so that might be a problem too.
Okay, so I just have one quick question. So, and I'm saying this. And I think it's ironic, and I come from this background, but I'm just wondering. So what if there's nothing wrong with somebody's parts, and
it's still okay because you're still using it to. I mean, God created sex for us to enjoy each other, like in the confines of marriage. If you believe in Christianity and that's your faith and that's what you go by, he didn't say thou shalt not have sex and thou shalt not have sex other than to procreate. That's not in there. So it's it all depends on the view and the way that you use it and take it. Does that make sense?
Oh no, it makes sense.
It's kind of shocking because it's just a spin. I mean, it's just a spin on how you present the product. I mean, you won't find things on there like alien penises and dog penises and like.
So they don't make them cute. They don't make them cute, and they don't make them to go certain places, but it's still marketing.
Possibly, yeah. I mean, I really haven't gone in there a lot.
So that
I didn't even know they existed up until
benefit from sex toys. So they got into the market.
Yeah, I didn't.
Because
Well, it's not the church. I don't know if it's not church sanctioned or run. It's not like the Pope is like, thou shalt use
Dude,
the
I am
holy
so
roller.
going to hell. Everything going through my
But-
mind is what can I name these toys after things that are biblical?
I
And
mean,
I'm
I
like,
dropped.
The
I
I'm
only
so
thing-
out there on these, man.
No, the only thing that's going through my mind is
I dropped a link in the group chat, so you
see
guys
it.
can check it out
Okay.
later.
No, the only thing that
So-
was going through my mind is absolutely whose business it is. Like, why would it be the church's business, or why would they have an opinion
No,
on
it's
whether or
not.
not
It's
you use a
not.
sex
It's not.
toy?
Okay, so
Like,
it's not. It's basically what it boils down to is, it boils down to a group of individuals believing that sex is a part of life, and there's nothing wrong with sex, like in and of itself, in the confines of a loving marriage. Like, and if you need sexual aids, then there's nothing wrong with that.
I'm not gonna say it while we're on air. I'll remind me to tell you guys.
okay, so
they're
they're trying to be progressive within the Christian community.
Correct.
Okay, now I get it.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's not like mainstream, but I'm just saying that there is an option sites for that, and there's people that believe that way. So that that it's not a toy is not inherently evil and doesn't make you cheat. It's the intention behind it. Just like a gun is neither good nor evil. Just like money is neither good nor evil. I mean, that's an often misquoted passage in the Bible. The money is the root of all evil. That's
right.
not true. The actual quote's much longer than that. But it's the intention behind it, how you use it, because money can be used for good or evil. Guns can be used for good or evil. So sex toys can be used for good or, evil. Like they can be used to help your wife in your marriage, or they can be used to destroy your marriage.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
I was thrown for a minute by Christian sex toys, and I was just like,
I was
what?
too when I was doing my research. When I was doing my research on the adult toy industry, I was shocked that there was an entire segment on that. That catered towards individuals of faith, because a long time when you think someone Christian, you think prude. That's a lot of people feel like that. I mean, I feel like that. Like when you say, when you think, Puritans that came to America, you think a bunch of prudes. Like that's where it came from.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's like preacher's daughter, like when, like that type of situation.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, usually they're
preacher's daughter.
they're the craziest ones, but typically,
Well,
you don't think them.
The reason for that is usually the strictness with which they are brought up. Just saying. And
Right, because it's an act of rebellion. So that's why like the Amish culture has that brief stint where they get to go out in the world and they get to decide whether or not they want to live by the faith and come back and be Amish, or they get to leave and never come back, be shunned from the community. They get that option. So they get that craziness out of them, and then a lot of them come back. Some of them don't, but a lot of them do. I feel like Brad has something to say because he's just looking like
I just was reminiscing my past. I have very fond memories of the church. With that being said,
I've heard that story too many times.
As I'm saying, I'm out. I'm just because you triggered my memories, and I'm just like, Anyway,
so that's my feeling on sex toys. I feel like they can be either beneficial or hurtful, depending on what they're used for. Same thing with pornography. The only thing I don't like about pornography is the industry partially. The dark side of the industry. It's almost like the sex trades as
100%.
well. Like in and of itself, I don't feel that selling sex is evil or morally wrong. However, the problem I have is when you have pimps and you have, people forcing women into these situations and then keeping them there through means of drugs, taking their money, preventing them from having access to escape the process if they want to get out of it. But it's, to me, that's the bad part of it, is that sex, leads into the sex trade leads into other problems, human trafficking, forced prostitution, that type of stuff. But in and of itself, I don't have a problem with it. You know,
and I think you made a good point. It's just like going back to the glasses before we get out of here. You know, the virtual glasses.
yeah.
It can be used for good, which we've already seen. It can still be used for good, even for sexual needs, but it also could be used just the opposite direction for bad. So
I mean, think about it as a sexual ed tool. Like, you load up the Kamasutra and you can try positions before you try them on your significant other. So
or to
you
see
can
if
do
you
your
can even
knowledge.
perform, or to see if you can even perform them and make those moves.
Well, yeah, exactly. But I mean, just think about it though. Like, how much
I don't have enough
like,
hands for this.
Yeah. Or man, my
Because
hamstring.
because there's people that go to like sex coaches that like teach them how to have sex,
Mhm.
like, and not like with the couples, like couples therapy. Like, there's a licensed practitioner that teaches, intimacy and like reconnection, and and a lot of it has to do with post trauma, or some PTSD from a childhood or something else, or physical trauma to the body. But
Mhm.
there is a professions that do that, and it'd be the same, be no different than that. There's a lot of applications that you could use for it. I mean, it would be a lot safer to have intercourse with a virtual avatar than to have real intercourse. Because you cut down on diseases, you cut down on the transmission, or transmission of diseases, cut down on pregnancy. There's a lot of things that you can eliminate. You also lose a little bit of our humanity. So that's a whole nother topic, depending on whether we, go to that situation. And then now we just, harvest an egg and harvest the best egg and harvest the best sperm and create super babies, kind of like they did in Gattaca.
I was just about to quote that same movie.
And then all of our sex, all of our sex is done virtually, and we procreate in test tubes because we want to have the optimal babies. And you just type in what stats you want, kind of like a video game, and then you just send them out to like conquer the world.
Loading player 2.
Yeah.
Anyway,
we have all these 8-foot tall guys with fucking 9-inch cocks.
Gen B.
Yeah, Gen D.
Yeah, everybody's got a huge cock in the virtual world,
Big
which we know is total bullshit. But anyway, well, listen, guys, we're going to cut out for the day. So we hope you enjoyed the show today. Don't forget to head over to the Daily BM, where you can find, or thedailybm.com, should I say, where you can go ahead and find all of our socials and links there to YouTube, Rumble, the whole 9 yards. So anyway, Mikey, you got anything before we get out of here?
Hey, everybody, have a great day. And, just keep your intentions pure, and you can enjoy all the sex that you want.
That's right. Just put the glasses on and you're good to go. And Shae, thanks again for being on. And you got anything you want to say before you go? $3,400.
No, man. Just keep your minds open and communicate. You'll be good.
Right. And with that, it's our duty to please that booty, as good old Samuel L. Jackson would say. And we'll catch you guys on the flip side.
Have a good one.
Later.
Deuces.